Hello, I'm Stewart, CEO and founder of Harvard Grace Capital, back with rule number 3 of my rules for investing in real estate. So far we've covered location, and you make your money on the buy, not the sell. Rule number 3 is very near and dear to my heart. As we do multi-tenant office buildings and as part of our portfolio, and I think this is critically important to understand, especially having come through the pandemic, and we made it through the pandemic pretty well. So the third rule is whatever business your tenant is in, you're in that business too. As a landlord, you're essentially the bank. You're extending credit to them to occupy your space for them to do their business in. And if their clientele dries up and disappears, guess what happens to your rent stream? It's going to dry up and go away as well. So that's why it's so important when you are looking at whatever business your tenants are in. Some people call this tenant credit quality, and that's the case. So what does this mean, at ground level? When we look at a multi-tenant property, I like to see a nice mix of both national brands and local institutions. A lot of times the local businesses will want to be located near a national draw, such as a big box store. A lot of times you'll see, a big Walmart and then a couple of side buildings that's filled up with other types of businesses. But in other kinds, it could be a national mortgage company or a State Farm agent's office or something like that. Also, big draws are doctors and dentists and things like that. And those are usually really good credit risks, and they don't move around very often. And once you've got those sort of anchor tenants, then you can do well with some of the other, I don't want to use the word stable, but less big draw type tenants. We had a property once that we had the basics. We had the insurance agents and the mortgage companies, and we also had a martial arts studio in the property. And that was a big draw, and it was nice because their clientele were there when the office people were not, so it sort of made the parking work out nice. But probably would not have just done a deal directly with a martial arts group because that's not the most stable business. And in truth, they had real trouble throughout the pandemic. And a lot of that was government mandated, but bless their heart, they were able to recover and paid every dime of rent that they owed, and it turned out they were great tenants. So think about the businesses that your tenants are in. A lot of these type of properties, you'll end up with a home health company or something else. Restaurants can be fabulous, but they can also be incredibly risky. And again, it might be a mix of tenants that you're in. If you want to, you just really need to think of it as if you were their banker, would you loan them money? And that's the way you need to look at it. So how do you look at your tenants?